Okay, so I'm not extremely sure how to start this video, so I may just hit record, otherwise I was going to talk myself out of it again to better prep. Here's my map that I'm working on. This is the Northlands, Midlands, and Southlands. This has more of a Nordic vibe, this is more basic fantasy, and this is sort of desert dweller, also ocean. You'll notice that an ocean runs along the entire coast, westland coast of the map, but it continues along through the pages through the south. And I guess I'm making this video to show how I'm going about working on the map. Now, a lot of this here is done by T, which was just placed on the paper until it stained it. And there's also markings here, which aren't overly creative, but just to get an idea. This is a road. So let me say that the way that this map works, in case you haven't seen my other videos on it, around and about, that there. So if you're traveling from west to east, you would get to, let's say, G, and then you would turn the page, and then you would start again on G, which would put you out in here. So if you go south, it would put you down from 5 onto the next 5, which would let you travel through here. And it's been a lot of fun. And I think this map is more creative and an art project, maybe more than it is as functional, as functional as someone else would find it. But I find it to be extremely functional and creative and an experiment. And let's look at some of the ways that I've taken to creating the land in the forest and mountains and plains and water. Let's see. Let's go with this one, the north map. Put these others aside real quick. So I explained that this is tea staining, which kind of it's an abstract sort of feel, right? A little bit. Like you can see where the highs and lows are. Like this is obviously darker land, so it's higher up, perhaps. Or maybe it's darker land because it's lower. I haven't decided, but moving on. This is a mountainous area, and I will show you later on in the video how I'm doing this. It's actually a lot of fun for me. The map continues on. Some of the better mountains that I've done, I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, I like these a lot. They're pretty cool. This is obviously not the better mountains that I've done, but we won't talk about that. It was a spur of the moment idea that I instantly regretted. But let's see. There's going to be an extreme change that you may or may not notice. This is a really cool, where you can see the different levels of the mountains, and this is left white to represent snow. This is the struggle that I'm having for my newest idea of how I'm going to fill the map as far as color-wise. Because, well, you'll see. Remember this, snow, which would be white paper. That'll be an issue once we get to here. Yes. Now, the way that I've done this is with markers and then alcohol. I have, you know what, I really like it. I know why someone would not like it. Like, you've just made an extreme mess all over your map, haven't you? Yeah, I did. But you know what? I think it looks amazing. I really do. You can see, so really what I did is I just covered this in multiple types of green marker. It is this type of marker, the pen gear, which I think you can get at Walmart. They're relatively cheap. But then I will go in with some isopropyl alcohol, or however you say it, and then I will just dab where I want it to be lighter, right? And through here, you can see a trail, and through here you can see a trail, and all I did was I took a dropper like this, and I just, wherever I want the trail to be, or a lighter variation of the color, you just run it along. And I think it turned out really cool. These are not the best mountains ever, but it's clearly a shifting of elevation in the land, and that's what I was really going for. I think it looks quite cool. Yeah. It looks better from far back too, but it also looks kind of cool because you can see, I mean, it's pretty messy. It's probably too close, but you see what I'm going for, I think. What else? What else might I say about it? Other than how amazing of a time I'm having doing it. The oceans. I'm having a lot of funs with a lot of funs with the oceans is what I'm having. So this is the Midland map. So obviously I haven't done it too extreme through here. The Southland map, as I said before, is the larger coastline. This one has not been done yet with the alcohol, but you'll see that I start to get the idea of what I'm after here. Through here, this is where I really get into using the alcohol for it, and then I just think it gives it such a cool look, like a nice smooth transition. It shows the different depths of the ocean and where it might be little sandbars in the depths. Here you get this odd texturing of color, and that is by forcing the alcohol to dry faster, which gives you these little square looking sediments that end up drawing really cool looking. And I feel like it could be like a potential coral reef under the water. I mean, if you wanted to, you could go in and color these different colors with another marker, and then perhaps drop some more alcohol on top of it to see how it disperses. It's really, I don't know, man. It's a lot of fun. Just having a good time doing it. This is a really nice one too. This was a color experiment, and I think I'm going to throw a wizard tower or something like that into the center of it, just for any excuse as to why it's such a large color blast. Yeah. It was me experimenting with colors and unsure of how I was going to go about things, but yeah. So how I would do this is you then go in with a fine liner pen, and or you don't have to, but I think I would, and then you just do the outlines, and then you can go in with a cool gray. I believe it would be this one, maybe a warm gray. Let's check it out real quick. And yeah, I bet I can make that work. It would be the transitioning from the water to sand, right? Keeping in mind that this is a desert-ish area. The people are desert dwelling, but also seafaring. I was talking about that in Manalone's Discord. So then you would go in with a gradual transition from this, which has a wet sort of soil sand look, into the yellows. Let's see if I can find the right colors. Okay, so what I have here is a warm gray, a French yellow, a canary yellow, Canaria, whatever, and a pastel yellow. So I would imagine it's gonna go something like this. I guess it doesn't matter because it will blend on its own, but let's go with a bold. Why not? We know that French yellow, or I know that French yellow is a pretty strong color. I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is not mark up that paper below it. I will put this under it. Yeah. And then we'll do like this. Just so show a transition from the wet soil to the drier soil. You're like, well, that looks like shit. Well, perhaps it does right now, but I will take some of this, put it in this lid, and then get it everywhere. It's not gonna matter. Moving on. It's quite reflective, isn't it? Well, that should be interesting. But then what you'll do is get your little dropper and right along here, you'll drop down the alcohol, and it may mix with the blue, so be it. The idea is that it'll make an interesting transition of colors, which is what I'm after. And then I'm going to let that set, and then we will come back to it once it dries. Let's see if I can pause. It seems not. Okay, and it seems like it's dried a little bit. Let's zoom in and see what it has ended up looking like. You'll see that it has started to transition and fade out the yellow a little bit, which will give us an opportunity to stack in another color. But I think what I'm going to do is something bold, which I generally regret, but let's check it out. Let's really do it, all right? I'm gonna go in and do something like this. Now, this probably sounds horrible, and if it does, I apologize. So it'll be something like this, right? And you're like, well, that looks like crapola. And you know what? Right now it does. That's fine. We're going to try this pastel yellow, see what that looks like. Not the fine tip, but the bold. Maybe it'll be a big enough transition of color. Not too big of a difference. It looks like it's about the same. But that's fine, because I will go in with a different color after this. Let's see what color this is. The Canaria. I'm sure it's canary or something to that extent, but I'm not sure because words. And this is, I guess, the lightest of the yellows. You want to kind of try to move fast so that it doesn't set too strong, otherwise it'll have a hard time shifting with the alcohol. Let's just get an idea for what it's going to look like. I say we use the brush, but where? Oh, here it is. Okay. Just bold stuff, right? We're just going to go in like this and see how it treats it. And I found that the larger bloops or splashes of the alcohol really forces the pigment away and into its own section, and then the lighter brushing does obviously a lighter transition. Here. And then I think I will also go in with maybe a very light peach color. And right now it all looks wet, doesn't it? Probably a little bit shiny. Yeah, I thought it might. Alright, let's pause this and see how this goes once it dries. Alright, that's dried up a little bit. Let's see. And what I'm looking for is the ridges of color. Like there on 29, 28, and 30, and also on 50. And then you'll see the 60, 61, 59, 71, how they have a darker look to them. Up on 48 and 58, there's clearly a ridge there. And then what I'll do is I'll feed off of that, and then I will outline the ridges themselves with either pencil at first to get an idea for the ridge and what it's going to transition to. But I think we're going to go with some, that's vermilion. It could be scary. Could be. Let's see. Could be a canyon. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is going to be nice and canyon-like, isn't it? Or mountainous. Yeah. Maybe a mesa. Mesa? Maize? Corn? No, it's not corn. It's not a corn mountain. I'm just corny. Alright, moving on. We'll throw back some French yellow on it. Like that. And then I will add some more alcohol to it. That wasn't me spilling it. Don't worry. I'm a professional. And it really is fine if it bleeds over into the paper. Clearly the water has done that. Just makes it look like it's exploring outwards. And I don't know how well this one will do, but if it doesn't do it enough, then I'll just add a different color on top of it, and then add more alcohol to that, and then it will break it down more, and you'll get a depth and variation of color, which could be a rise or fall of the landscape. If you see right here what it's doing, see how the color is crawling from it where I originally put it outwards, giving it a more kind of a natural, yeah, I don't know, words. Just saying it's going to look cool whenever it dries, just trust me. If it doesn't, I'll add more color, and then more alcohol. I could just buy alcohol markers, you know? I could do that, but I haven't. And that's fine, because then I wouldn't have this experience, you wouldn't get to see me make a fool of myself, and everyone would be missing out. But it's not going to look great. I'll let you know when it dries. We'll come back. Alright, so that has dried a little bit. Let's go in and look at it. You can see where it has lightened up quite a bit around in here. You get this little gradient happening. You get these little speckles that have happened. And this is all good. This gives you an idea as to how the land is rising and falling. I think what I'm going to do now, though, is I want a little bit more of an extreme look. So I'm going to, right along this ridge, I will do some more. And then I will go back again and apply more alcohol. This is an orange. I think I want to go with like this. Oh no, what have I done? We'll see. Who knows? Let's go with the Bob Ross approach. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents, or something like that, I think he said. Another high spot is right here. Maybe these. And then, so that is what? That is orange yellow. Let's go with the actual orange. Throw that right down in the center of it. Then whenever I drop the lines of alcohol, it should give us an interesting look. I'll do this right along the outsides of this. And like this. And down the center. Maybe going out like this. Alright. Then, of course, accent prone me. Let's see if I can keep it all together. This will go like this. This one here. And down the center of that, out through here to smooth out some of those square looking lines. And again, we'll come back once it's dried a little bit and it doesn't look so shiny and wet. And we're back. Some more. I guess I don't want to say and we're back. Obviously, I have arrived again. It's not paused. It was only a couple seconds for you. Okay. I don't think this is a strong enough thing. I don't want to lose these, though. So I'm contemplating what to do. My colors I'm looking at right now for this. That was an awful sound. Real quick. Is going to be this dark into this, into this, into this. Let's just see what that looks like real quick. So maybe very lightly. Can you do this very lightly with such a dark color? I'm not certain. No accidents. Something mistakes. Word. This here into. Think of it as you are experiencing this possible mistake with me. I didn't say I knew what I was doing. I said this is what I'm currently doing. It's almost the same color, isn't it? I don't hate it. think the whole thing. Get a bit of that. Yeah, 'cause that looks very... Alright, alcohol. I think we'll do a finger tip dabbing method strategy here. Tell you what. Yeah. I feel good about whatever just happened. Definitely not stressful as to whether or not that was a mistake, but anywhere that looks like, oh, it's too strong of a color shift, just gonna dab some orange around it, or whatever color is similar to it. The thing to take away is that there's not a wrong way to do it, because the ground is going to look however it decides it's going to look. And we can always go, so if you have a dark spot here, you would transition to a lighter color out away from it. And once that dries, that's what I'll do. Alright, not nearly as scary looking once it dried. We do have this happening, which I can probably... So as this rise or fall of elevation has happened, you also have this, which kind of contradicts it. This orange that comes down. So what I'll probably do is do another wash of alcohol on it. But let's see. So this will be transitioned a little bit. This, I think we'll go in with our original yellow. Once I find it, I believe it was a French yellow. Not sure if I'm on camera with what I'm doing right now, because I can't see it. I'm down here working on it, but I think it's going to end up really cool. Now, do these look like naturally occurring sand dunes and hills and rocky areas? I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time in a desert ever. But I'm having fun. Is it gonna inspire me for adventure? on my camel as I go through these hexes. I'm sure it will. It'll give me spots to place bandits in the canyons or lurking behind a sand dune. It'll help me decide where I do and don't want to go. Where something may be lurking for a monster den, mantis people, or who knows, maybe some sort of large sandworm. Alright, I think we'll come back once I'm done with it and see how it looks. Alright, and this is what we currently have. It is the solid dark line is the main road. This here is a large city just off the coast, taking in ships and whatnot. We have a lighthouse here. The dotted line is a footpath, although it's a very long footpath. Each one of these is 5 miles. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 through the desert. It's not going to be easy, but they also have a small village here in this large sand dune mountain hill area. We have a buried city. Right here is a sandworm area, so everything within this area is going to be dangerous. Traveling through the main road, we have another village, a footpath, a camp. Here is a hidden oasis with palm trees, and here is a special area. It is a known area of the jinn. Yeah, so you see how I end up making my maps. I'm gonna have to cut this little video short I say, because I'm helping my daughter rearrange her room. But there you go. This is how I make my maps. I thought it was pretty cool, and I hope you found it amusing, if nothing else.